Want to know how to succeed in Hollywood? You're not the only one. Truth is, you have to learn to be less dependent on others and stand firmly on your own 2 feet. The thing is, what many people don't know outside of the Hollywood trenches, deep in the trenches, for many, accountability in Hollywood seems to be difficult to find. Many go out of their way to not be accountable for their own actions, and lack of their actions for that matter. I'm going to tell you how, through planning before heading to Los Angeles, helped me be less reliant on others, how to succeed in Hollywood, having a willingness to be flexible as opportunities arose, and how owning my own accountability in Hollywood helped me become one of the most prolific artisans in my end of the industry. All of that and how it applies to the new Hollywood generation coming up. Welcome to Hollywood Unapologetic. My name is Rolando Delbert. I wanted to speak a little bit about filmmaking essentials, how to succeed in Hollywood, accountability in Hollywood, and how it applies to the new Hollywood generation. I should mention before we get into it, I first wrote about some of what we're about to touch upon, success in filmmaking in life and how it applies as part of the new Hollywood generation when I was writing Pollyanna's Tear-Soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, Survival Guide Against the Cynicism and the Hypocritical. We want to know your questions, comments, and suggestions you may have. Please write them below, leave a thumbs up if you like what you see. Make sure you click on the subscribe button. Click that bell so you don't miss anything. Be sure to check out the videos in the playlist. New to film production? Start here. Be sure to watch all of the way through. We're going to speak about a lot of things as part of being prepared. Remember, preparation is the key to you and your project's success. You ready? All of my years in the entertainment industry, I've seen a lot of the same patterns with people. Far too many people rely largely, if not entirely, on someone else or for the right set of circumstances to show up. This has been true when I was a student musician and worked in live sound reinforcement and rigging. This was true when I was in theater and focused and ran lights and soundboards. This was certainly true when I worked in all facets of the television and motion pictures. Yes, succeeding in Hollywood is difficult to accomplish, but it's not impossible. You have to learn before showing up in the City of Angels to be able to make a plan, be willing to be flexible to opportunities as they arise, and be able to not rely on others for your success. Better said, in a town where so many refuse to be accountable for their own actions, you have to be reliant on yourself first and foremost. What that means is you need to be willing to be responsible for the success of your own career. I've met thousands of individuals in the various ends of the entertainment business that all they did was complain about not getting a break. Regardless of the validity, the common element for a large majority of them was relying on someone else. You will always run into someone who has a project in the works. It's always the world's greatest thing, and it is always in the future. They're raising money, they're talking to this or that producer. It would be a great opportunity for you, but more times than not, it's not a reality. Other times, your talents are taken to help the principals involved get their project done, get paid, and nothing is reciprocated back to you. Even if you have others close to you that have their own projects in the works or in motion, have a manager or agent or an attorney or a mentor, it still comes down to you to being there for yourself. No matter how much any of these individuals or close friends and family members contributes towards you and your dreams, it still comes down to you. I've heard countless times, if only I had an agent, if only I had a manager, if only I had someone who can walk my script in here, if only I had someone to represent me over there. I've heard similar things from friends who did have representation, but they just weren't booking. The question that always came to mind was, are you working as hard at being a writer, a director, an actor, at whatever as you can? If you have good representation, they're going to be asking the same questions, and you should be asking the same from them. Is your manager or agent representing you the best that he or she can? If everyone is giving their all, their 100%, then it doubles, triples the amount of effort to you and your success, and that's great. But if you are not giving it your all, it's just not going to work. Think about it. What do you think attracts people to you or your projects? It's your personality, it's your charisma, it's your belief in yourself and what you are doing. It's your belief in your project, your script, and your own talent that people gravitate towards. Because even with the best representation, it still comes down to how people connect with you and what you are offering for others to see and hear. It comes down to you walking through the door your agent has opened for you and sells yourself and your talents. It's a game of seduction, if you will, where your energy, charisma, along with your talent is on the line to get you work. Your goal should be to entice others to help you make your dreams come true. All of this is true and has to be considered early on before you begin any game plan to breaking into Hollywood. But it all begins with you believing in yourself and relying on yourself. Does my speaking about being accountable and how you see yourself breaking in make any sense? If it does, write down right below hashtag New Hollywood Generation in the comments below. That's hashtag New Hollywood Generation. The thing I kept seeing over and over again was so many people show up in LA with no plan whatsoever. Many had little training, if any. Others were unwilling to be flexible for opportunities working in a different end of entertainment or doing a different job you were hoping to get. This is self-defeating and cuts off any possible connections you may have made. When I first came to LA, I was told over and over again I was an old man at 29. I wasn't getting into any post-production houses or television stations or network. My very first paying job was running lights at a men's nightclub in Santa Monica. I did that while running lights at a black box theater in Hollywood while still working on independent film projects to make some connections. I had contact lists I developed years before moving here, where over the course of I don't know how many years, and I sent out over 10,000 resumes. Yes, you did hear that right. One roommate I had would send out no more than a dozen a week, while I would send out around 100 a day. She couldn't wrap her head around why I was able to get freelance gigs, all the while she was getting next to nothing. And it paid off. I built a relationship with a recruiter a year and a half before moving to LA at one of the networks. I kept in contact with her, which worked out very well. So well, she hired me when a position opened up and I was part of an Emmy Award-winning team. We won 3 years in a row with 4 nominations. That first one was after being in town just 2.5 years and my first year with them. Suck it, 10-year formula! And that's just one example. The point is, it still comes down to you. Having an agent or manager can help you get into some doors, but many doors you can open yourself once you realize it still comes down to you. One of the things you'll learn rather quickly dealing with just about anyone in any type of power position here is people's inability to be direct, or more accurately, the unwillingness to be direct. I can't tell you the countless times I'd walk out of meetings scratching my head in bewilderment because I couldn't get a direct answer from anyone. And in an industry where everything is about making money, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Building solid relationships with people you work with and do business with is a necessity. This may sound like something obvious, and it should be, but in actual practice, it is easier said than done. But to do that, you have to have a back and forth of useful communication. And for any kind of relationship to flourish, there must be communication. Loyalty and the desire to play well with others is a rare and precious commodity in this business. Selfish agendas are very costly in many ways and will eventually blow up. And many people are content with doing as little as possible to escape by. Ultimately, there will be some blowback. And once you begin interacting with anyone who has been in the business for some time, especially in Los Angeles, you may notice many people don't like to tell you no. Or let me put it a better way. If you ask someone a question, the default answer usually is not saying yes. This is often true when asking someone to join you for lunch, having a follow-up meeting, just about anything else that requires some kind of future interaction with one another. I get more into this in another episode, but is relative here. Many people in LA don't want to be accountable for their actions. Inactions are their words. Many Angelinos take directness as being rude or confrontational, and oftentimes reflect directness or just never answer back to you at all. For many, it is easier to just not respond in any way, and that is their simplest no response. And the line of thought is counterintuitive and counterproductive, I've always thought. How can business be conducted when you can't get a straight answer from anyone? I learned that answering with either a yes or no to any question has consequences. Well, that makes sense. But not giving a definitive answer on anything leaves things open-ended for all eternity. This has to do a lot with having a fear of being accountable of one's words and actions, and a fear of commitment to those words and actions. In the workplace, it can mean committing to your word can cost you your job quite quickly. When you're working on your own projects or freelancing on someone else's projects and the responsibilities and monies involved are much greater, being committed to your word has much greater consequences. Larger amounts of money may be potentially lost. And I mention this because regardless of this type of behavior or even having good people in your corner to help you get in the door on a project or with a studio, it still comes down to you. It's imperative that you own your own accountability, because accountability in Hollywood, many people don't seem to have, and it's something you will need to succeed here. And this is true to succeed in life as well. And something else I speak about in another episode is how succeeding in any area of the entertainment industry most often depends on your perseverance, flexibility, endurance, and will. You can have all of the talent in the world and not get ahead because you lack consistency in these 4 strengths. Whether you are working with a tight deadline, new technology, a weak manager, a hangover, or any of the countless possible things Murphy's Law can shovel at you, you have to adapt and overcome can either make you or break you. Having a good attitude and a willingness to be flexible and to let go of things that don't matter will help you to recover from any blows that you may get from the negativity mongers out there. And in LA, there sure are many soul suckers. And no matter what, you have to take it in stride and believe in yourself. Yes, believe in yourself. Stand steadfast in your own self-reliance and kick down the doors you need to. True opportunity only knocks repeatedly for those who can stand on their own. And one more thing, as part of the new Hollywood generation, others just like you are asking the same questions of themselves. You are not alone. We're all in it together. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe and click on the bell to know when we have more for you. And more episodes are coming. Please share with someone you know who may find what we spoke about today beneficial. Like if you like what you see, and dislike if you don't. Let us hear from you. Are you going to use what we discussed today? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. Please consider what I offered you today and consider what your role is as a new generation of content creators. Feel free to take advantage of other members in the new Hollywood generation community. We're all here to grow together and to help one another. We have a strong group on Twitter. Come join the new Hollywood generation and meet some fellow filmmakers and content creators. As members of the new Hollywood generation, take the time to assess what your short-term and long-term goals are. Create a timeline of where you are today, where you'd like to see yourself in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10, professionally, financially, and personally. Do your research and learn what you can about technology, distribution outlets, contracts, and of course, set etiquette and protocols. All of these things are important and help to make you of value to others in our industry and to yourself. The lessons learned as a content creator can help build leadership qualities and an entrepreneurial approach to life. The process will help you build structure and the discipline needed to truly be a success. Use this information as a tool so that you can protect your integrity and yourself better. Don't forget to have fun with it. Making a film takes a lot of effort to see all of the way through, but definitely can't be worth it. Your experiences stay with you for the rest of your life. Make your plan, take a breath, go for it. You can do it once you believe you can. You ready for the challenge? If you're looking for filmmaking for beginners, Filmmaking 101, and for some filmmaking tips on how to want to be a filmmaker, make sure to click on the subscribe button. Click that bell so you don't miss anything. Looking for how to filmmaking essentials? Be sure to check out the videos in the playlist. New to film production, start here. Think of this channel as a film crash course or filmmaking crash course and an introduction to filmmaking entrepreneurship to build the skills needed well beyond just how to succeed Hollywood and beyond whatever discussion other how-to film school, how-to indie filmmaking, in general, how to film industry channels don't talk about. The whys you truly need to know to help you grow as a thought leader in life, the entertainment industry, and how it applies as part of the new Hollywood generation is in this video series and in the Pollyanna's Tear-Soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, a survival guide against the cynicism and the hypocritical series of books. Links below. Remember, preparation is the key to you and your project's success. Ready?